Welcome, Warriors, back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2. And I want to thank everybody for the comments and all the things that helping and subscriptions and likes and comments. Appreciate the subject matter we get, doing different things, and it's greatly appreciated. So continue to help me if you can and providing information that you want. We have a good topic today. The topic is going to be talking about how to handle cheating. A couple of friends of the channel talking about issues about what happens if their girlfriend or boyfriend cheats, and I want to kind of address that. It's a very sensitive, obviously, issue, but very prevalent in nowadays. Sorry about that. We got some crazy cars around us here. But first of all, I want you to subscribe and to comment and like. And especially if you like what we're doing, please kind of help us that way as well. And I think I have a donate button on the regular channel. I may not always include on each one of these, but please help us that way as well if you can. I think I will be putting a Patreon thing on at some point here pretty soon. Also, my hair, I may have to go get a haircut. This is one of the benefits of the journey, right? Is the fact that you do get a lot of hair growth, and even at my age, we're getting a lot of hair growth coming in. So it's, I think it's wonderful. So I like it. So let's go talk about cheating. I got a train here I'm waiting for. So let's talk about cheating a little bit here. So cheating is something that is obviously something that seems to be okay now in many regards. I mean, I'm very religious person, and to me, I go back to the old days. And obviously, if you're cheating, you can't really get divorced from a person unless you have some cheating going on, and it shouldn't be something you do all the time, and it shouldn't be something you ever think about doing. Now, once again, the thoughts will cross people's minds, but they have to act upon that type of thing to do that. So let's kind of delve into this a little bit, talking about this, because the first reaction I would have to any of this is the fact that if the person is cheating on you, then I think you have to kind of examine the pattern of that person. Has that person cheated many times, whether it's with you or other people? And I guess that's the question you have to kind of ask yourself as you do this. What is causing the cheating? Now, a lot of times it goes back to attention. If the person's not getting something that they want from a person, then they'll go ahead and try to cheat with another person. But the thing, guys, that's the important thing is that, and I think it's for men, and for men on the men's side of it, if the man is basically kind of desperate, if they're actually kind of doing everything that the woman wants, then any normal person, I don't care if it's woman, man, or anything like that, would be a person who would not be totally happy with that. If you're putting a person on a pedestal, then they're going to eventually struggle. They may like it at first, but they're not going to respect you. And this is when a lot of cheating, in my mind, occurs. It occurs when you're not challenged in a relationship. So if another person's not challenged, they're going to look for someone else that's going to challenge them. And this is why you go back to the old thing about the bad boys, and I think I did a video on this, that one of the lessons you learn from the bad boys is the fact that they don't really care. And so it becomes a challenge for the females in this case, to basically say, okay, I'm going to get this person. And so it's still an effort trying. And once again, if you get something for free, this is kind of a thing in our society. If you get something for free, you tend not to value it. I don't care if it's education, it's lottery. Like, for instance, we talked about all these people who get money and they don't know how to spend it, and they don't use it, and they go broke eventually again because they don't know how to spend the money. They're not appreciative of the money, and they just kind of waste it and spend it. So the thing is that when you get something for free, you're not going to appreciate it. And the same thing occurs with energy, right? If someone's getting your energy for free and there's nothing tied behind it, they're not going to respect it that much. So you have to be very careful of the relationships you have, and very, very careful with the energy you have. Not only the physical energy, but also the emotional energy. And if you're going to have a relationship with somebody, it has to be an equal type of thing in which you're both getting something out of this. And if that's not happening, then you go back to the category we talked about before on being a simp, and you don't want to be a simp. And the thing about it is you have to avoid doing that type of thing, or else you're going to find yourself in a lot of problems. And financially you'll be a lot of problems, but you'll also be problems emotionally as well. And so the bottom line really is do not end up kind of chasing people. Do not end up trying to be desperate with people, because that's going to lead you to a poor behavior, and then this person is not going to respect you, and they're going to go ahead and do what they want to do. And they feel like if I don't get the respect, if it's not a challenge anymore for me, and if I don't, able to kind of push back on the person, invariably that person's going to go ahead and find someone else that will. It's just kind of human nature that you really want to work for something to get something. So that's why when you see a person with drama in your relationship, or a person who's cheating, then that person obviously wants to continue to have a challenge or something that's put into them that basically is saying, okay, now this is worth going after. Once again, you get someone free, my friends, you're not really going to appreciate it. That's mostly human nature. And that's why when you look at this situation, a lot of times when people are cheating, it's because they've disrespected or they've taken for granted on their end of it. The other person caused the being taken for granted as well, because they're being so nice that they're almost desperate. They're not showing respect for themselves. They're basically giving to the other person so much that it becomes more of a desperate type of thing. And so that female in this case will be very disrespectful, not really criticizing all the time, nagging all the time. All those things are trying to test. I'm sorry, we got a train going by, but test to do those type of things to figure out, do you respect the person? So here's some advice, my friend, from somebody who's gone through a lot of these battles over the years and things like this. I can tell you from my experience, I think you have to learn how to say no, number one. When someone's cheating, now if someone is actually cheating on you, I think you gotta cut the cord away. I mean, I don't really see too many situations where the person's gonna change. Now, I do know a couple examples, obviously, that I've gotten in reactions here of people who have cut the cords and let the person go, but then a person becomes stronger and comes back even stronger because they realize what they lost. And this is what happens a lot, guys, to men and women. They realize what they've lost because they basically are, now you're a challenge again, right? Now you become a challenge. And when you're on retention, you are a huge challenge for anybody, right? And this is male and female. You are a huge challenge because now all of a sudden you have this energy. You know what the game is. You realize you're not just going to go give up your energy for anything. And so what ends up happening is people tend to go ahead and say, okay, who is this person? And why are they saying no to me, right? And if they say no to you, and I don't care if it's intercourse, I don't care if it's emotional type of things, the more you can say no. And I'm not talking about being abusive and being mean and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about just staying on your ground and saying no, that I'm not going to do this, or no, our relationship is over until you start showing some respect. And you'd be surprised how people react to that, because what they're looking for is something to work for here. If they have nothing to work for, then they're going to move on to somebody else, and I don't care if they're married or not. This is the kind of thing they're going to do. So the things you got to do is you got to be able to say no. You've got to keep yourself on your goals, because the more you're on retention, the more you're on your goals, you're now looking at a higher level of confidence. Your body's looking better. You're going to have, be able to have more muscle. You're going to have more strength. You're going to have more confidence, less anxiety, less fear. All these things are going to show this other person that they shouldn't have taken advantage of you. And now all of a sudden, they're the ones who are kind of chasing you again, looking to see if they could try to get that energy back that they had before. And it's almost like the Beauty and the Beast type of thing, right? What ends up happening is the beautiful person is always trying to tame the beast. And guys, when you're the king and you're the person on this journey, you become like a beast. I mean, look at me. I'm changing into a beast right before your eyes, right? Video after video. And changing, right, into a beast. And so you got people who are going to try to look at that and say, man, that is unbelievable power, energy that person has within themselves, and I'm going to go ahead and try to tame this person. I'm going to try to change them so they give me their energy. Now, I'm being a little facetious here, guys, but I'm also kind of saying a point that subconsciously that's how a lot of people feel and react. They basically see all this energy in you, and they see you becoming this woolly mammoth beast, right, that you have, and they want that. Now, if you don't show that, and basically you're showing the other side, to the extreme especially, they're going to lose respect for you, and that's when they're going to start cheating and doing it. Now, nowadays, because of the dating situation that I've been told about, from a lot of you, people are just doing this, with no problem at all. If there's something they don't like, they do it. And I guess, I did that thing on the Chads and the Bad Boys, and so it seems to me that the people who are not, caring enough and doing that seems to be able to get a lot of the attention because they're focusing on behaviors that are not really giving attention. They're making it a challenge, which just goes back to this whole thing that if someone can go ahead and tame the wild beast, well, then that's an accomplishment. They can tell their friends, look at what I did. This person that I have, this person now is following me and things like that. As soon as you do that, as soon as you give in to that and you no longer you're pursuing now, then all of a sudden you have lack of respect. Now, back in the old days, some of that was a little bit different, but now it seems like that if you're doing those type of things, you're going to get lack of respect, and the person eventually is going to cheat with you and other people. And if you're a boyfriend, girlfriend, those things are going to happen. And the same thing with marriage partners, those things happen too. And then if that doesn't happen, what you got people then looking at pictures and images and things like that, and that creates another problem within the whole relationship as well. So I think, gang, when you really look at this, you got to take a look at seeing why do people cheat, and how can you handle it? Well, you handle it from your end of it the best you can. That person's going to have issues that they've got to deal with, and that's more for a psychologist or someone to look at those individuals and why those things happen. Some of that goes back to childhood. Some of it goes back to the father, mother type of figure, those type of things. But the thing is that all you can do is be the best version of yourself. This is how you can avoid and handle cheating. Be the best version you can be. If you see someone who's doing it and you're not really wanting that person in a relationship, then get rid of that person, okay? But that's part of respecting yourself and being the person you want to be. And that means that now you're on your journey. And see, if you're on your journey, you're not really wanting a lot of relationships anyway. You may want to have one, because you're not really expending your energy, right? It's nice to have companionship. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I've been married for almost 30 years. I love the companionship with my wife and the kids and all that kind of stuff. That's great. But the bottom line, guys, is that each person needs to be able to live by themselves. And if you can live by yourself, then these other things are just great added blessings you have. But if you can't live by yourself, then you become more of the desperate person. And this is what happens with males and females, and especially with females. I mean, they struggle with living by themselves. And so the key is going to be, as you look at this, is to be the best version you can be. And if this person doesn't appreciate that, well, it's their loss, my friend. It's their loss. And this is how you got to look at it. It's not your loss, it's their loss. And I know that's a mindset change you have to have, but you are the prize. And I think as time is going on, we're seeing this more and more in our society, that things are shifting again, and the man really is being appreciated for the prize they are. All right? So I hope that helps the question. Once again, how to handle cheating and be the best version you can be. Until next time, battle on, warriors.